It stretches across mountains, deserts, and valleys for over 13,000 miles. It took more than 2,000 years to build. It is the single largest construction project in all of human history. And yet, almost everything you think you know about it is wrong. Welcome to the Great Wall of China. Not the version they show in tourist brochures. Not the cleaned-up, reconstructed sections that millions of visitors photograph every year. We are going deeper, into the forgotten stretches, the buried sections, the parts that China has kept hidden from the outside world for decades. What you are about to see will change the way you look at one of the greatest structures ever built by human hands. This is the Unseen Great Wall. Before we go into the secrets, let us first destroy the myths. Because even the basic facts about the Great Wall have been twisted, exaggerated, and in some cases completely fabricated. Myth number 1. You can see the Great Wall from space. This is perhaps the most repeated lie in all of history. NASA astronauts have confirmed multiple times that the wall is far too narrow to be visible from outer space with the naked eye. It is roughly the width of a highway. And yet this myth has been taught in schools around the world for over a century. Myth number 2. The Great Wall is one single wall. It is not. What we call the Great Wall is actually a collection of multiple walls built by different Chinese dynasties over 2,000 years. Some sections run parallel to each other, some sections are completely disconnected, and some sections have been completely swallowed by the earth and have never been found. Myth number 3. The wall was built to keep out the Mongols. While that is partly true, the real story is far more complicated. The wall served as a massive communication network, a trade regulation system, and in many sections, a military highway that could move thousands of soldiers across impossible terrain within days. And here is something that will truly shock you. Historians now believe that less than 30% of the original Great Wall still exists above ground. The rest has been stolen, destroyed, buried, or simply erased from history. And the Chinese government has not always been eager to talk about why. Now we go into the darkness, because the Great Wall of China was not built, it was suffered into existence. During the Qin dynasty, around 221 BC, Emperor Qin Shi Huang ordered the first major construction of a unified wall. He needed workers, millions of them, and he did not ask for volunteers. Soldiers, peasants, criminals, and anyone the emperor deemed expendable were forced to work on the wall. Historians estimate that between 400,000 and 1 million people died during the construction of the wall during the Qin dynasty alone. 1 million human lives lost to build a single structure. The conditions were unimaginable. Workers labored in temperatures that dropped to -30 degrees Celsius in the northern sections. In the western desert regions, heat reached over 50 degrees Celsius. There was no proper shelter, no medical care. If you fell ill on the wall, you were simply replaced. But here is the detail that has haunted historians for centuries. Many of those who died during construction were buried directly inside the wall itself, their bones mixed with the mortar and stone. This is why the Great Wall has been called by many historians the longest cemetery on Earth. In 1991, Chinese archaeologists excavating a section of the wall in Shanxi province made a discovery that shocked the academic world. They found human remains embedded directly into the wall structure, confirmed to be over 2,200 years old. Men, women, some believed to be teenagers, all worked to death and entombed within the very structure they built. The Chinese government acknowledged the discovery, but limited outside access to the site almost immediately. The full findings were never publicly released, and to this day, that section of the wall remains closed to tourists and independent researchers. Most visitors to the Great Wall see the same thing. The battling section, perfectly restored, crowded with tourists, gift shops nearby, beautiful but sanitized, carefully curated for public consumption. But travel just 100 kilometers in any direction from the tourist sections, and you enter a completely different world. The Wild Wall. The Forgotten Wall. The wall that time and nature are slowly consuming. And in some places, the wall that the Chinese government has deliberately kept off limits. The Jiankao section of the Great Wall is one of the most dramatic and dangerous stretches of the entire structure. Built during the Ming Dynasty in the 1500s, it sits at a near vertical angle on a razor-sharp mountain ridge. No restoration has been done here. No handrails, no safety nets, just 500-year-old stones, crumbling on a cliff edge, thousands of feet above the valley below. Officially, visiting Jiankao is illegal without a guide permit. The Chinese authorities have restricted access, citing safety concerns. But researchers who have made the dangerous hike tell a different story. They describe finding Ming Dynasty artifacts still sitting in the watchtowers. Abandoned military equipment, ancient inscriptions on the walls that have never been officially translated or catalogued. Then there is the Jianyuguan Fort at the western end of the wall, known as the last pass under heaven. This is where the wall ends, and the Gobi Desert begins. For centuries, this was the edge of the known Chinese world. Beyond this point was considered barbaric territory. Soldiers stationed here described it as being posted at the end of the earth. But what most people do not know is what lies beneath Jiayuguan. Archaeological surveys conducted in 2003 detected massive underground chambers beneath the fort complex. Ground-penetrating radar showed rooms, tunnels, possibly entire hidden levels below the visible structure. Excavation was approved, then suddenly cancelled by direct order of the central government. No explanation was ever officially given. What is beneath the last pass under heaven? Nobody outside the Chinese government knows for certain, and they are not telling. How do you build a 13,000-mile wall across some of the most brutal terrain on planet Earth? Without modern machinery, without computers, without cranes or helicopters or GPS navigation. The answer involves engineering secrets so advanced that modern architects are still trying to fully understand them. Let us start with the mortar, the substance that holds the Great Wall together. Modern analysis of the Ming Dynasty sections of the wall has revealed something extraordinary. The mortar used to bind the stones together contains a very unusual ingredient: sticky rice. Scientists at Zhejiang University analyzed mortar samples from Ming Dynasty wall sections and discovered that the builders mixed sticky rice soup with slaked lime to create the binding agent. The amylopectin found in sticky rice created a mortar so dense and so flexible that it has now survived over 500 years of earthquakes, floods, extreme temperatures, and vegetation growth. In fact, in several documented cases, modern weed killer applied to plants growing through the wall has failed to penetrate the mortar. The organic and mineral compound has essentially fused into a single material harder than the stone it holds together. Modern engineers have attempted to replicate this formula with synthetic materials and have consistently failed to match its durability. Then there is the question of how the wall was built across mountains with slopes exceeding 70 degrees. Sections of the wall near Simeitai rise at angles that modern hikers struggle to climb even with proper equipment. Yet workers in the 15th century carried stones weighing hundreds of kilograms up these slopes with nothing but wooden sleds, rope, and human willpower. Archaeologists have recently discovered a network of what appear to be staging platforms and pulley anchor points cut directly into the mountain rock alongside the wall. Evidence of an incredibly sophisticated ancient engineering system that allowed materials to be hauled up near vertical cliff faces. A system so efficient that engineers today believe it may have been more effective than many modern construction methods for work in extreme terrain. And perhaps most remarkably, the wall was built to be perfectly self-draining. Every stone surface on the Ming Dynasty sections is angled at precisely 2 degrees toward the inner drainage channels built into the walkway. After 500 years and thousands of rainstorms, these drainage systems still function exactly as designed. No flooding, no water damage, no erosion of the core structure from rainfall. For a civilization working 500 years ago without modern measurement tools, this level of precision is almost incomprehensible. Beyond the construction and the history, the Great Wall holds stories that textbooks have never told. Human stories. Bizarre stories. Stories that reveal just how extraordinary this structure truly is. Consider the signal fire system. Along the entire length of the wall, watchtowers were placed at precise intervals of approximately 500 meters. Each tower was designed so that the signal fires lit from its platform could be seen from the next tower in both directions simultaneously. This means that a military alert signal could travel the entire 13,000-mile length of the wall in less than 24 hours. In an age before telegraph or radio or any electronic communication, the Great Wall was essentially the world's first long-distance communication network, a living, breathing military internet stretching across an entire continent. But the wall was not only used for military signals. There is growing historical evidence that sections of the Great Wall doubled as one of the world's earliest customs and trade control systems. Merchants traveling the Silk Road could not simply pass through the wall freely. They were required to stop at designated gates, pay tariffs, and have their goods inspected by imperial officials. This means that the Great Wall was simultaneously a military fortress, a communication network, a customs border, a trade regulation system, and a road, all in one structure, built 2,000 years ago. Now here is one of the most disturbing and least discussed facts about the Great Wall. During the Cultural Revolution of the 1960s and 1970s, Chairman Mao's government actively encouraged local villages to dismantle sections of the wall and use the stones to build homes, barns, and roads. Entire sections of the wall that had survived for 2,000 years were legally demolished within a single decade. Stones that workers had died to put in place were repurposed for pig farms and drainage ditches. UNESCO estimates that approximately 1/3 of the Ming Dynasty wall was destroyed or severely damaged during this single period of Chinese history. To this day, if you visit rural villages in Hebei or Shanxi province, you will find homes with walls built from ancient Great Wall stones. Homes with 500-year-old imperial Chinese brickwork in their foundations. History, literally used as building material. And yet, despite everything, despite the demolition, despite the neglect, despite 2,000 years of wars, earthquakes, and time itself, the Great Wall endures, stubborn, silent, watching. Today, the Great Wall faces a crisis that no army in history managed to create: tourism, modernization, and deliberate concealment. Every year, over 10 million tourists visit the Badaling section of the Great Wall, the most visited section in the world. It is beautiful, it is photogenic, and it tells you almost nothing about the real wall. The Chinese Tourism Authority does not advertise that Badaling was almost completely reconstructed in the 1950s and 1980s. Much of what tourists photograph and climb today is not original Ming Dynasty stonework. It is concrete and modern brick carefully designed to look ancient. The real Ming Dynasty surface beneath has been covered over. Meanwhile, independent researchers and foreign journalists who attempt to document the lesser-known and restricted sections of the wall routinely report being turned away by local authorities. Drone flights over certain sections require special government permits that are almost never granted to non-Chinese nationals. Satellite imagery of several key wall sections in the Xinjiang region has been deliberately blurred on Chinese mapping platforms. What is in those sections? What do those blurred areas on the map contain? Archaeologists who have studied the wall for decades believe the answer may involve undiscovered military installations, ancient burial complexes, or possibly evidence of wall sections far older than the official historical record acknowledges. There is one more thing that China has been very reluctant to acknowledge publicly. The Great Wall is losing the battle against time. At current rates of erosion and deterioration, UNESCO estimates that within 100 years, over 40% of the remaining original wall sections could be lost forever. The Chinese government has committed billions of yuan to preservation efforts, but in many remote provinces, the wall continues to crumble, unstaffed, unfunded, forgotten. Stand on the Great Wall of China at dawn, before the tourists arrive, before the cable cars start running, before the souvenir vendors set up their stalls. Stand there in the silence and listen. Because if you are quiet enough, you can almost hear it. The weight of 2,000 years, the footsteps of 1 million workers who never went home, the signal fires that once burned from tower to tower carrying messages of war and survival across an entire civilization. The boots of soldiers who spent their entire lives on this wall, guarding an empire they would never fully see. The Great Wall of China is not just a wall. It is not just a tourist attraction or a symbol of national pride. It is the single greatest monument to human determination ever constructed, built on suffering, held together by rice and stone and the desperate will of an empire to survive. And it is still here. Still watching, still standing, still keeping its secrets. The question is not whether the Great Wall is the greatest structure ever built. The question is, how many secrets is it still hiding? And will we ever truly know? To see the Great Wall of China, hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to see the real story. Subscribe to Terrveil 4K for more hidden truths about the world's most extraordinary places. The places they don't put in the guidebooks. We will see you in the next one.